Breaking news in the ongoing DOJ probe of the handling of classified documents. A senior law enforcement official tells NBC News the FBI is actively searching former Vice President Mike Pence's Indiana home today in search of any more classified documents. NBC News senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell is following this. We're also bringing back former U.S. Attorney Chuck Rosenberg. Kelly, what do we know?
Well, you laid it out there. That is what we know at this point. The Indiana home of the former vice president and his wife, Karen, is now being searched by the FBI. This was, as we understand it, a negotiated search. So a Pence legal representative would be there representing the former vice president. So this is not a case of it being a surprise. And this, of course, follows Mr. Pence having some classified materials that he surrendered over to the authorities and the National Archives. Obviously, this all came to light after first the last August search, where former President Trump had lots of classified and government materials in his home. And then we have seen what's played out with President Biden having materials at his home and at an office in D.C. And so Mike Pence did a search of his home. He, of course, when he left the vice presidency, had a period of time where he had goods that were in storage. And then several months after leaving office, he and his wife purchased that home in Carmel, Indiana, and things were sent there. They did a search, he said, on his own. When he discovered some materials, placed them in a safe, and then he alerted counsel that had the ability to contact authorities. The FBI came to his home, retrieved those materials, and then separately, his lawyers delivered to the National Archives 4 boxes of materials that could be government records that they believed to be copies of things that may or may not be of interest to the National Archives, but they wanted to provide that content back to the National Archives for them to review it and see if there was anything else. Subsequently, the former vice president had been spoke about this publicly, and he said that it was his responsibility, that it was not appropriate for him to have anything classified or with classified markings in his home, and that he was going to fully cooperate. Now, here we are with a search today playing out in Indiana. These typically take several hours for investigators to go through and look through all of the different places within a residence, and to then provide an inventory, is typically the practice, to the lawyers for Mike Pence in this case. And then we will ultimately find out at some later date if there was anything more from this.